I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, don't get licked.
Let's see here. I think I can go next then. I'm not sure who else we need to knock out here, but I think mine will be nice and quick. So, okay, cool. So, just in case anyone doesn't know me, if anyone like ends up watching the live stream here, just in a nutshell, I've been an early DeFi Ethereum user. Definitely classify myself as a super user, but also an educator and an investor. I've worked with countless teams in the Ethereum and greater DeFi landscape, including the folks here. I used to be at Zapper. I was the third employee at Zapper, and I'm now a full-time investor, educator, content creator at Fourth Revolution Capital. So just very quickly, at Fourth Revolution, we're investing in the next great protocol, whether it's DeFi, NFTs, or Web3 related. So anyways, if you're ever interested, if anyone's watching again and you're building something, please reach out to us at fourthrevolution.capital. So the opportunity here is really straightforward. I like yield farming where I am exposed to like asset pools. I want to deposit my tokens and I want to never have to touch them for a very long time. So I want long-term sustainable yield, and I want it denominated in whatever the token it is that I'm depositing, unless it's a token that I want to hold long term. So for example, I do a lot of farming in Curve because I am bullish on the Curve token. So I was thinking about like, what's the simplest long-term sustainable yield out there? And today, it actually, I think one of those opportunities exists on the Terra blockchain. Thankfully, though, there is this new protocol called Orion Money. And so on the Terra blockchain, we have Anchor Protocol. It's paying we'll call it a stable rate of 20% APY, fluctuates between 19 to 20%. Because of the fact that this is an algorithmic money market, and there's a lot more nuance underneath the hood, but I'm not going to go through that today. All you need to know is that when this isn't a pool where the yield gets diluted by folks depositing too much of an asset. So it's a beautiful long-term sustainable yield that has for months been holding at 19 to 20% and is intended to last for many years. So, and that's right, I said years, which is uncommon in DeFi. Most opportunities are fleeting. The yields go up and down in a matter of days or weeks or months. And so I'm going to just quickly walk you through. You can deposit any of these stable coins on Ethereum. Now, the yields here today are around 13 to 16%, but they're going to get up to this 19, 20% in the future. It's just that they're in sort of like a bootstrapping period right now. And again, the major advantage here being it's simple, just deposit stable coins and leave it. You don't have to farm and dump. You just withdraw whenever you want in the future, and your yield's denominated in stable coins. If you want to read more of this later, I'll let you do that. But in a nutshell, to understand this new protocol, Orion Money, which is cross-chain DeFi, we're taking advantage of yield on the Terra blockchain, but we're depositing stable coins on Ethereum, which I think is brilliant because there's so much more in terms of value on Ethereum that is seeking yield, but it allows you to get exposure to another blockchain that is flourishing in terms of DeFi development. And so anyways, the way that yield is sustainable here is they are having folks deposit liquid staking derivatives. In this case, it's Luna for Terra and ETH for representing staked Ether. And so it's basically a basket of liquid staking derivatives from proof of stake chains. So end of day, I mean, the yield on these like major blockchains isn't going away. And so I love just the longevity that this promises in terms of earning yield. That anchor rate, again, is set around 20%. And I think I'll just leave the rest of that there. A few highlights of this. Anchor has some impressive numbers in terms of growth over the last several months. They survived let's see, where is that? They survived a 70% drawdown in the price of Luna, which I think was like a major test for this protocol and being able to continue to offer this 20% yield. Skip around here, just more about like the amount of UST that's being minted here. So up and to the right, just this is a thing that is still growing very rapidly. And I think there's a lot more folks that have yet to discover how this works, which is why Orion Money then makes sense as a cross-chain stablecoin bank. So what are you doing? You're just depositing your stable coins. You're earning the yield through Anchor at 20%. That's the end of it. So that's a little diagram here of what happens. You can deposit any one of these stable coins. UST is preferred. It'll save you on gas, but someone could deposit one of 5 other stable coins on Ethereum, and it does all the magic of swapping that under the hood. Once you're in, you're earning yield denominated in UST. There are other options in the future if the Aladdin DAO ended up adopting this as a curated farm, kind of like Celsius, the centralized lender, or a Nexo. You have this option of if you stake the Orion token, you earn a higher yield. But again, I'm thinking, what's the easiest way for a person to be able to earn yield? Just depositing some stable coins, earning it in stable coin yield, not having to farm and dump. This is like clear as day, one of the best opportunities in DeFi. And then other than that, just calling attention to some of the growth in TVL. Anchor is the underlying, again, protocol that's powering what you're able to do with Orion Money. Orion is still only around 73 million TVL, so I think this is going to grow quite a bit, but it will not dilute the yield, that 19 to 20% that you're able to earn. And then all of this is insurable through multiple insurers, but namely Insurace is the one today, and then Nexus should be adding this very soon for Orion. They already cover Anchor, and they've been selling out of cover weekly just because folks are so keen to, I think, deposit their stable coins with Anchor. Other than that, I think I'll leave out the rest of this. Again, you're more than welcome to read through this, but just wanted to highlight how it is that the real yield converges, how it is that the underlying yield converges to this Anchor rate, and some of the thinking behind like what happens if the liquid staking derivatives aren't yielding enough yield to pay out this Anchor rate to stablecoin depositors. Just because this obviously this is what's enabling Orion as an opportunity on Ethereum while you're earning that yield on Terra. Does anyone have any questions about this? Oh, quick reminder, none of this is financial advice. You shouldn't follow anything I say as an investment strategy, and be sure to do your own research. So.
I have a question. Do you know how do they this cross-chain stuff? How is it solved technically, or?
Yeah, good point. I do not understand the mechanics of that cross chain. I can tell you at a high level. Let me rephrase that. I don't understand it as a developer, but I can tell you that as a user, what you're doing is you're actually using a Curve factory pool. You're swapping. If I don't deposit UST, which is kind of like DAI on Terra, and that's what feeds this Anchor protocol. You're earning that yield with UST. If I deposit, let's say DAI, it swaps it through Curve, and then it bridges it through the Terra bridge.
Okay.
I think the major risk there is As I understand it, I believe the Terra bridge has some like centralized risk. So that's like something that is I'm mindful of, like as I'm moving money, thinking despite all the incentive of the I believe it's the Terraforms
Yeah.
lab that built that. It's just something I want to be mindful of. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And it's cheap gas wise to move across that bridge. What becomes a little more costly is if I deposit something like DAI, I'm doing a stable coin swap on Ethereum with super high gas prices right now. Anyone else have any questions? All right.
Yeah, I think I just add a comment. I think what DeFi that talk about is actually closer to Aladdin's philosophy. I think the farms we're really looking for are the long-term sustainable farms, right? And the security comes first, and the relative medium to low risk. And I know there are a lot of high APYs out there.
Yeah. Like try to name a farm in DeFi that's paying you in stable coins that's guaranteed, but pending some exploit disaster, guaranteed to be paying that 6 to 12 months from now. I would say there's nothing. There's no other opportunity. This to me is like one of the most like ridiculous DeFi innovations.
Do you get tokens too? You get the yield of your stablecoin, and then you get tokens of the protocol too.
So you are earning it. In this case, you're earning it. What I was trying to explain, you would be earning that all in stable coins. So whatever the stable coin that you deposit, or like a mix of those stable coins. But if there is an option, one could earn a little bit higher yield if they wanted to earn it in the Orion token. So that's what I was saying is kind of similar to Celsius and Nexo, which are centralized finance lenders, but I think it's a brilliant model. And full disclosure, I'm farming it, so I might have some bias because I am farming it now.
No, I think one insight I see there is that one thing is that all the capital is on Ethereum, and it will stay it will stay like this. And I think it's a very nice trick to have the capital from the people in Ethereum and bring it over to other chains in a way you don't have to manage it yourself, because otherwise you have to cross yourself over a bridge, and then you are on the other chain, and then all this kind of stuff. And so I think this is quite interesting model to use if you're mainnet as the bank, and then do the rest for the customers. That's
absolutely
really,
yeah. It resonated with me I had not used Terra I hadn't used it much. And then I realizing there is a difference there. I would call out, like if someone's willing to set up their Terra wallet, you can earn, the full 19-20% without paying anything away. But in the coming months, they should be paying closer to that 19 to 20% with once they've sort of gone through this. They're in this like early bootstrapping period. They haven't even generated the Orion token. But they do have 3 audits, and they have 73 million in total value locked. So it's, it looks promising based on today. Let's see here. I think we'll